Imagine this. You move from your town in El Salvador, where you were born and raised, and everyone speaks Spanish, to a random town in the United States. You are 13 years old and you know zero English. Then, to top it off, your teacher in your classroom has no way to communicate with you. This is the reality for many ELL, or English language learner, students who must learn English from a monolingual teacher, and they have extreme differences in their culture and their language. I have seen this firsthand during my internship in an ELL classroom at Westwood Middle School, right here in Gainesville, Florida. All of you had to take 2 years of a foreign language in high school, so I'm sure you remember how difficult that was. This is even more difficult for these students who must communicate through translate dictionaries because their teacher does not know their language. Thus, we must look at this issue from a linguistic perspective. The United States is severely lacking in qualified bilingual educators who are willing to work in ELL classrooms. The main issues with monolingual teachers is that it is way more difficult for them to be effective as they can only focus on grammar once the student learns English. For example, a student in my classroom was trying to attempt to explain to us what an avocado was. We had to take the time to go get a dictionary and search until we found what she was trying to say. After this, we still could not assist her in her writing her paragraph about her least favorite food, the avocado, because her English is so minimal. It has been proven through the work of LaFontaine, a language studies expert, that students have a higher achievements when in a classroom with a teacher or an aide speaking their same language. At Westwood Middle School, according to the Florida Department of Education, only 7.8% of students were ELL in 2017, making them a minority. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, a research center that studies education and demographics, as of 2015, Spanish was the first language of 3.7 million ELL students. So, 77.1% of ELL students are native Spanish speakers. This means a high majority of students are working to be bilingual of the Spanish and English languages. To conclude, students do not struggle as much as they used to due to new technology, but there is still a clear need for representation and funding for ELL students across America. There are not nearly enough bilingual citizens willing to become ELL teachers. Being a youth immigrant is difficult enough, and being unsuccessful in learning can impact their other classes as well. We need to end this cycle for these students. And here's my note card.